Rob Thomas with Club and Resort Business, and today's episode of Club and Resort Talks is sponsored by C2 Limited Design Associates, an award-winning boutique hospitality design practice. Easy for me to say. The founders have created a signature niche in the world of luxury hotel, resort, and exclusive private club design with their bespoke approach to design, uniquely tailored to each client and their story. Learn more at c2limited.com. Before we get too far in, let me introduce Phil Keren, our senior editor. Phil, how's it going?
I'm doing well, Rob. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. So, hey, let's kick it off. What's going on in the news?
Well, I saw some interesting things in the news regarding golf courses taking some more steps to be a little more environmentally friendly. A couple examples I noticed this week. Greenway Golf Associates, they're the developer and manager of Corca Park in Alameda, California. They announced a partnership with master architect Robert Trent Jones Jr. and his golf course design company, which of course is Robert Trent Jones Golf Course Architects. And they're going to work together to renovate the North Course at Corca Park. But it was interesting to notice because I noticed the announcement talked about the fact that Greenway selected Robert Trent Jones Golf Course Architects because of the company's expertise in environmental leadership and golf course design. The owners of Greenway are Avani and Umesh Patel. And the Patels, the Robert Trent Jones officials gave kind of lofty praise to the Patels for their efforts to maintain a site that is environmentally friendly. Trent Jones even said their efforts to transform the Patels' efforts to transform the site into a vital ecological habitat and socially inclusive resource are a model for the golf course industry. So it looks like they're going to have construction on the back nine and adjustments to the existing front nine starting here in June. And all the work is going to be scheduled to be finished by December of 2024. But just thought that was neat to see that we're trying to do more to be environmentally sensitive at the same time you're fixing up a golf course.
Well, I think golf courses get a lot of grief because of the chemicals, the pesticides, but really some of what goes in and out comes on the golf course is worse than what goes out of the golf course. Superintendents do a wonderful job of maintaining their properties, and they do it to the best of their ability with environmentally conscious practices. And the GCSAA has really put a strong emphasis on that in recent years, and going forward, I think we're gonna be in a lot better situations.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And it kind of leads me in the other one other story I had noticed this week. Leisure World Golf Course in Silver Spring, Maryland, achieved the designation of the certification of Audubon Cooperative Sanctuary Program for Golf Courses certification. Christine Kane with Audubon International said that to earn this certification, golf courses have to demonstrate they are maintaining a high degree of environmental quality in a number of areas. Leisure World's accomplishments to earn the certification, their accomplishments were expanding native vegetation, removing invasive plant species, providing quality wildlife habitat, as well as conducting water quality testing. The course itself, it's an 18-hole par 70 championship course with Bermuda grass fairways, and they are actually also planning some renovations that are expected to be finished this summer. And I've noticed some other courses the last couple of years that we reported on that had earned this same certification from Audubon International, included Heritage Oaks Golf Club in Northbrook, Illinois, and East Point Country Club in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. So yeah, plenty of examples of golf courses trying to do more to be environmentally sensitive.
That's a nice, having that certification is a nice feather in their cap.
Oh yeah.
I know it's not easy to get, and I know that you have to continue those practices to maintain that certification. So good on them, and good on us as an industry, right? I mean, as a whole, we're doing what's best for the environment. I think, rose-colored glasses maybe, but yeah, good on Leisure World and good on Audubon for recognizing them.
Absolutely. Yep. And the other story I saw was unfortunately a tough one for a golf course out in California. We certainly wish them the best in their sort of recovery efforts. River Island Country Club in Porterville, California. I guess there were some heavy storms out there in March that essentially wiped out 6 of the 18 holes. Hole 10, 16, 17, and 18 were severely damaged, while numbers 11 and 12 are beyond repair and need to be completely rebuilt. Terry Treese, the club's GM, says he thinks total damages will be a few $1,000,000. He's hoping that estimates on the high side. I guess we had a story this week on them because they were back in the news because I guess the remaining 12 holes were recently reopened for play, which is great. And so if golfers want to play 18 holes, obviously they can just play the front 9 twice. I know it's going to be a long process to get everything repaired, and I certainly wish them the best in getting the course back up and fully running. And I guess it's a reminder that golf courses are always, benefit and get hindered by the weather, if you will.
Yeah, well, I mean, California, when it rains, it pours, quite literally. I mean, we've had a lot of good news from California recently, how the reservoirs have refilled because of their crazy, crazy winter, ton of rain, ton of snow. But there's the downside of it, right? The ground probably just wasn't ready to take all that moisture, that saturation, and tough break for them. But looking forward to seeing what comes out of it when those holes are replaced.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like it'll be a long process, and like the GM even said, there's really not a script for it. This is kind of clearly an unprecedented event, so we hope they're able to get things going there pretty soon.
Well, Phil, I'll tell you what, we're knee deep right now in Top Ranked, right? So you've been very active in it this year. Our Top Ranked Culinary was a big deal to kick off the year, and we just had Top Ranked Fitness and Wellness, and I think that you had a nice conversation with one of the clubs.
I did indeed. In fact, it was this year in the April issue of Club and Resort Business, we had our list of top ranked fitness and wellness centers. And this time around in 2023, Addison Reserve Country Club in Delray Beach, Florida, earned the top spot on the listing. So I recently spoke with Anthony Biondolillo. He's assistant GM at Addison Reserve, and Grant Worthington. He's the director of sports operations there. And we talked about the honor. We congratulated them on earning it. We also talked with them about how it felt to earn the award, as well as what their fitness center offers that sort of makes them stand out. Also touched a little bit on the role fitness and wellness plays in maintaining mental health. And we also talked about some upcoming projects they have there, also in the golf world, not just the fitness and wellness center. So it was a great conversation. Really enjoyed it, and hope our listeners do too.
All right, fantastic. Let's get to it.
Well, the April issue of Club and Resort Business included our annual list of top-ranked fitness and wellness centers. This year, Addison Reserve Country Club in Delray Beach, Florida, earned the #1 ranking in our yearly listing. Addison Reserve was #2 in the 2022 rankings and moved up to #1 in the 2023 rankings. Joining me to talk about this honor are Anthony Biondolillo, Assistant General Manager at Addison Reserve Country Club, and Grant Worthington, Director of Sports Operations at Addison Reserve. Anthony and Grant, thank you for joining me on Club and Resort Talks. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
And first of all, congratulations on earning our top ranking in this year's listing. Great accomplishment. Should be proud.
Thank you. Thank you. It's quite the honor.
And Anthony, just start with you as assistant GM at Addison Reserve. What does it mean to you and your staff to receive this honor?
Well, obviously it's both humbling and rewarding. I say that it's humbling because we know how many great clubs are out there and how many great facilities, and for us to be recognized as the top wellness facility is very, very humbling. But it's also rewarding. It's rewarding in the fact that it takes a lot of hard work. It doesn't happen by accident. We have the great visionary leadership of our general manager, CEO, Michael McCarthy, and then the membership itself, the board of directors, and then obviously the men and women who make this happen on a daily basis for us.
Excellent. And I guess to kind of to extend on that point, for the story that we had put together for our April issue, where you were honored as the top ranked club, uh, Denise Sari, your club's membership marketing communications manager, had told me that the mission statement of your club is excellence is our standard. And she talked also about how it's our goal to ensure a 5-star experience for each member, their families, and guests.
Sure.
And maybe for both of you, Anthony and Grant, if you could talk a little about what your employees do to provide that sort of top level experience for your members at the
Yeah,
center.
honestly, we have these top of the line facilities. They're beautiful, aesthetically beautiful. The property is gorgeous. But at the end of the day, it's the men and women who make the experience. So, Grant has a wonderful team over there that I'm sure he'll talk about, but they're the ones that make us who we are. It's those interactions with the membership and going above and beyond and holding, not only yourself, but your teammates to a high standard and ensuring that we're delivering the very best experience for the members that we can.
And I can jump on that, Phil. I think also it's about relationships. And, one of the things that makes our club unique, we feel, is the relationship between the membership and our professional staff. I'm fortunate enough to have a group of managers that have been with me for 15 years. So our management team on the fitness and spa and tennis side, they're established and those relationships are solid. The trust is there from the membership. We have an open door policy here at the club, which has allowed us to kind of thrive together. And we try to bring professionals into the environment that can really look out for what our membership's expectations are. And they are high, but they're attainable.
Okay, very good. And on that, Grant, maybe we can continue with that then. Maybe have you talk about what the club has in terms of facilities and programming that distinguishes it, or at least you feel it distinguishes it from other clubs. Maybe start with facilities a little bit.
Sure. So when I arrived at Addison in 2008, we had just completed it's about 11,000 square foot renovation of our existing fitness center that was open in 1997. And we were thriving. It was a great environment, but we were kind of restricted by the size of it. So, in about 2017, we started to evaluate, the growth potential. We were seeing that our numbers were going through the roof. We had the right people in place. The membership was excited about improvements and wanting to be, the best that we could be. But we were restricted by our facilities. So, we went through this renovation process that lasted quite some time, and we opened up our new facility, which is a 15,000 square foot fitness center, 2-story, with a 6,000 square foot spa. We have a 2,000 square foot, tennis facility, pro shop, and obviously it's a lifestyle pro shop. We opened that up in 2019, and instantaneously we started generating revenues that we've never seen before. We almost hit, 100,000 our first 3 months for, a 717 home membership. So obviously COVID happened, but overall, the amenities that we have now, we've built a facility that far exceeds the size that we need for a club our size. So we don't have to worry about being restricted with space in the future. And that's given us a lot of freedom to develop and to flourish, bringing in different types of programming, like high intensity training. We have a TRX studio. We have a Peloton studio. We have 3 private Pilates studios, a group fitness studio that's designed for every type of class that you could imagine. And we have all the bells and whistles in the fitness center that, that a facility like ours should have, whether it's techno gym or pre-core equipment lines. So for us, the growth of coming into this new building, and now that we're past COVID and we're able to really give our membership what they've been waiting for over the last 2.5 years, has been really rewarding for us.
Excellent. So it sounds like, too, fair to say that the membership's been very pleased with all the expansion that's happened there.
Yeah, I think anytime you start planning a renovation. There's skepticism. There's some people that question the need for it. The one thing that we've seen here at Addison is we go through that process every time we develop something, but once we open it up, whether it's, you know, a lounge bar in our clubhouse to, you know, this wellness center, once it's built, the membership utilizes it more than we could have even anticipated.
If you build it, they will come.
Right. There you go. Well said. Excellent. And it does look like, and you were touching on some of the offerings that makes your club unique. It also looks like there's programming classes for as many age groups as possible. Can you maybe offer examples of programming that fit specific age groups or demographics?
Absolutely. You know, the COVID migration that we saw in South Florida, it was very evident here at Addison. We've gotten a lot of members that are, you know, more active members that are looking for a little bit of different things than our original membership that we've had here. So it's provided some challenges. We offer about 40 classes a week in our program. We do roughly 10 classes to 12 classes outside in a group fitness water aerobic facility. And then we also do the majority of our classes inside. And those classes range from Tai Chi or chair yoga or a low impact type of cardio class to a cardio kickboxing, high intensity type of class. We even offer a dance class where we have a professional ballroom dancer that actually comes in, and she's been working with us for about 16 years. And just this year, we decided to open it up in our lounge, Stir, where we do once a month. She comes in and they do a happy hour, and she works with the membership and teaches them how to dance. So it's all about movement. It doesn't matter what type of movement. If you're younger, more active, you want that high intensity type of experience. If you're a little limited or you have some restrictions, you want a more controlled environment. And the balance between that is not always easily achieved, but we strive to try to appeal to all of our members the best that we can.
You know, and that's the great thing about working in this environment, you know, in a community like this. Our members want the best, our board wants to deliver the best, our CEO, Michael, you know, the vision is to provide the best that we can. So it gives us a great opportunity to do many different things on different levels for different groups. So it's fun to work in. It presents a lot of opportunities to think outside the box and get creative and do things that you normally might not see at other facilities.
Right. Well, and it strikes, I for the April edition, my column, I touched a little bit on I mean, obviously we know about physical benefits of exercise and fitness and wellness, but also that there are a lot of mental health benefits to it as well. I don't know if would either one of you want to talk a little bit about anything regarding that? Is there anything offered at your facility that ties in with mental health as people are doing exercise and fitness?
Well, I mean, as far as mental health is about enjoying what you're doing, finding enjoyment in your environment. One of the things that we experienced through COVID that translates into today's fitness is a lot of people enjoy being outside. It's a big component of their wellness. And it's not so much just they don't want to be confined in a building amongst other people. You know, when you're out in that natural environment, looking at the beautiful landscaping, you know, seeing the golf courses, you know, running through the community. I know Denise mentioned to you, we built basically a fitness park here at the club about 2.5 years ago, and then the height of COVID. So we invested, you know, around $35,000 and put outdoor fitness equipment at a park that actually has about an 1/8 of a mile loop that we actually set it up to where they can do circuits and they can actually do some outdoor cardio. We actually have a couple pieces of cardio equipment that's designed for elliptical movement and for biking movement. We have 2 freestanding structures where you can do about 20 to 30 exercises on each one. Because we found that people do want to be outside. And if you want to just go for a run and then incorporate some weights and, you know, do some lat pull downs and just some different things, they now have a place within their community that they can do that. And that, I think, talking about well-being and mental awareness and having people have a good sense on where they're at. Being outdoors is great. We saw what it did for golf and tennis during the pandemic, and now those are both thriving, and we're a part of that growth too here at the club, which is exciting because now we can kind of take that fitness side and incorporate it with golf and incorporate it with tennis, as well as pickleball.
And that's interesting you bring up about using essentially a park to incorporate fitness equipment and everything, because I can speak to it that you talked about golf, tennis, pickleball thriving during COVID. But the other thing on a simpler level, the other thing that thrived during the pandemic was just simple parks and trails and everything like that, bike and hike trails and all kinds of things like that. Because again, I think, well, obviously people were so restricted that it was one of the few sort of regular activities people could do. But I agree. I think that is helpful to people's mental health to be able to get out into nature and
Yep.
it's nice to get away from a treadmill for a little while and watching TV news or a movie or whatever, what have you.
Disconnect a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. Well, for both of you, could you talk about, I know there's some upcoming improvements at the club. Can you talk a little bit about that, even stuff that's outside of the fitness?
Yeah,
and wellness?
sure. So we are planning, we're in the process, actually. We have already started our golf course renovation. So we have Reese Jones as our golf course architect, and we will be redoing the 27 holes and practice facilities here at the club. We will first start with 9 and the short game and driving range. And then the following summer, we're going to be doing the last 2 remaining 9-hole courses.
Okay.
In addition to that, we're installing Top Golf. So we are looking to bring a new amenity to the club, an entertainment venue to say, very similar to what Top Golf is.
Okay.
I don't know. What else would you say about it?
Well, one of the things too that we're working closely with our golf director, Kevin Baldassar, is they're looking to put indoor bays, teaching bays, flight simulators in there so they can kind of, do different activities, but also, do club fittings and really develop, the golf component of it.
Yeah.
Which is great for me and my team, because we're able to kind of create that synergy between the 2 departments. And we know we have about 5 people in our department that are currently TPI certified fitness teachers. So now I can bring those people over to our golf department and work with Kevin and his pros, and really create fitness programs now that are geared towards the golfer and really develop their flexibility, their core strength, their driving power. And that's an area that we've worked with in the past, but now we're actually going to have the amenities, much like when we built our building. We created this beautiful facility. Now we're going to be able to do that for golf. And we feel we're going to be able to give that membership an enhanced fitness and golf experience as part of this renovation, which is exciting for our team and the fitness side. And I know Kevin's excited on the golf side.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Sounds great. So can you talk a little bit more? That's interesting about the fitness component of golf. What types of things would that entail?
So Titleist Performance Institute, they offer like a 3-level certification. And, it's also geared towards golf, but it's geared towards how the body mechanics relate to the golfer. So, we do about a 45-minute assessment of the individual, put them through a bunch of different tests, see where the range of motion is, their flexibility, see where their balance is, all factors that are instrumental in having a successful golf swing. And when you're working with professional staff on the driving range, a golf pro can tell them all day long what they're doing wrong, but if their body can't react to that, then they're never going to have that development. And Kevin and I, for years, have been working with our professional staffs to trying to create that synergy. If Kevin's working with one of my fitness director's clients, they'll communicate with each other and say, hey, listen, you need to work on, his lower mobility. You need to work on his flexibility. His range of motion is only coming back, 75% on his swing. He needs to really get to 100% if possible. So, you need to work on, rotation. And that dialogue not only benefits the individual, but it shows that member that, wow, they really care. They're not just focused on my golf to make some money. They really want to see me become better physically and at the sport. So, for us, that gets us excited because it makes that membership experience, again, it elevates it. They feel like they don't just care about, making a dollar. They really care about me becoming better at something. And that goes back to that excellence is our standard. We don't want to just do what we need to do. We want to do more for our membership because they do a lot for us.
And it enhances the enjoyment for them. Golf can be a very frustrating game, as we all probably know. So, if you can get better, get a little healthier, increase mobility to make a better shot, I think, enhances the overall experiences. And that's what we're all about trying to accomplish.
I second that about golf being a frustrating.
Yeah.
I've played since I was 10, 11
I gave it up. I took up fishing now. It's a lot easier.
There you go. Interesting to hear about connecting health and fitness with golf more because, I go back three and a half decades when I played golf as a kid, and there wasn't that strong of a connection between that type of a thing in the past. And it's good to see that now. I would probably argue that somebody like Tiger Woods brought more fitness and health to golf. I mean, I don't think before Tiger, I don't think anybody was lifting weights and doing
No.
It was more of the John Daly approach.
Yes, that's true. Yep, absolutely. Well, gentlemen, thank you again for joining me today. Congratulations on the honor of Addison Reserve Country Club being named as Club Resort Business's top-ranked fitness and wellness center for 2023. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
Have a great day.
Have a great one.
And reminder to everybody, visit clubandresortbusiness.com for more news on our industry and to see this episode and other episodes of Club and Resort Talks. Take care, stay well, and have a great day.